Backstage Pass, Rockstar Pro Wrestling's official podcast. It's the ultimate opportunity to look behind the scenes at a Rockstar and hear from the wrestlers themselves. Here are your hosts, Chris Poland and Griffin Gunn.
Hello and welcome to episode 22 of Backstage Pass, Rockstar Pro Wrestling's official podcast. I am Chris Poland, joined by my partner in crime, even though we don't really commit crimes.
No, we don't commit crimes, but we had a crime committed against us last month.
That's true, we did. The fight just kind of, well, let's be frank, kidnapped us.
Yeah, they did, and I really hope episode 22 goes a lot more smooth than episode 21. I mean, did you lock the door? Are people going to be coming in?
I think we're good this time.
Okay, good.
I'll go ahead and say it at this point. The fight, worse than ISIS.
Yeah, you said it, and I agree.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same page. Now let us never speak of it again. So it's been an exciting time in Rockstar of late. Lots of events going on lately. Unfortunately, I missed the big day on the 25th, both Epicon and Boo and Brews events. Mark, can you catch me up a little bit on what I missed?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what a big day, a doubleheader in front of tons of fans. First, thousands of fans. Yeah, first we're at Epicon. A great event there. A lot of controversial stuff happening at that event, but
yeah, that's what I hear.
But at least on the wrestling side of it, everything went smooth on our end. So,
good.
It was a great time. We had good matches in front of a new crowd there, and Jake the Snake Roberts even had a snake pit segment.
That's super cool.
On the wrestling portion of our show, and, it was very cool.
Nice.
Very good show. Dave Crist is flying, leaping off balconies. I mean, that guy's insane. That's all I know.
That's what I hear. And that was at Boo and Brews, correct?
Well, he flipped at both events.
Oh, did he?
He flipped off the balcony at Epicon.
Okay.
And then later at Boo and Brews, he was flipping off a truck. So...
Yeah, I've seen Dave Crist flip off a lot of people, but maybe not.
In more than one way, yeah.
Yeah, it's Stone Cold style. So Dave definitely entertaining the crowd along with the rest of the Rockstar roster. I'm glad Jake was there. I heard his snake pit was a bit of a somber, solemn affair at times.
He's had a hard life.
He has.
He was talking about it a little bit, but he just wanted to let everybody know that despite all the tough times he's had, he's kind of turned it around. And if he can reach one person in that crowd and turn his or her life around, then his goal is accomplished. And hopefully he did that. Yeah,
absolutely. I'm curious, Mark, have you watched, and I know the answer to this question, but have you seen Beyond the Mat?
Yes, I have.
Of course you have.
Oh, man.
And I think that gives you an interesting look into, Jake's troubles in the past.
Yes.
It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, if you're listening to this podcast, odds are you've seen it. But if you haven't, check it out. And I hear that if you turn the volume down and sync it up just right, it syncs up perfectly with Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon.
Really? Wow. Okay, I'll have to try that sometime.
It's worth checking out. So Epicon sounded like it was great on the wrestling end at the very least. What about Boo and Brews?
Well, Boo and Brews was also good. I mean, this is Boo and Brews, not Booze and Bruises. I hear there's another promotion doing that, but I won't even talk about it anymore.
Screw those guys.
At Boo and Brews, I mean, we talked about Dave Crist earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Crist walks out the Cicero Cup Tournament champion, and I'll have to say he overcame the odds doing it. He had to win back-to-back matches. He had to beat Matt Taylor at Boo and Brews in the semifinals and then turn around and beat Dustin Reyes in the finals. I mean,
wow.
He had to do. Dustin Reyes had a little bit of an advantage because his semifinal match happened at Epicon and he had hours to recover. While Jake Crist, on the other hand, he didn't. But Jake Crist, I'll tell you what, that guy's a wrestling machine. He came out on top again, and he has a future Rockstar Pro Championship match.
Indeed, and this, if I remember correctly, was his first Cicero Cup win?
That is correct, yeah. Had a lot of great champions. Aaron Williams has won in the past. Alex Cologne won last year. Mm-hmm. Both former champions. They both went on to win the championship. Maybe Jay Crist will do the same.
Maybe. History may repeat itself. Remind me again, we had Dustin Reyes versus, was it Big Jim in the semifinals?
That is correct.
And I guess Dustin came out on top.
Yep, that he did. Jim tried to shut his mouth, but,
his
Dustin
mouth
Reyes
would not be shut.
Nope, not at all.
Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear Jake did so well, and it sounds like it was a really entertaining event.
Yeah, it absolutely was. I mean, entertained all sorts of new fans. Hopefully Rockstar got some new fans at both the Boo and Brews and Epicon event. At Boo and Brews, I mean, there's so many fans out there, so many people just walking around that when they turn around and they see Dave Crist climbing a U-Haul beer truck and jumping off it, how can you not be entertained by that? How would you not want to walk over and be like, what is this all about?
Yeah, yeah, sign me up, right?
Exactly.
New members of the Rockstar Nation. Now, there was, I think we should point out, don't try this at home, right? There was an injury at Boo and Bruce. Kyle Maverick, we may not agree with his current politics. Yeah. We may not agree with who he's siding with. But you know what? Personally, I don't want to see anybody get injured. So it's nice to see him on his feet again.
Well, it's like what they say. Wrestling, it ain't ballet, People get hurt. It's a tough sport. And Dave Crist is jumping off a truck, jumping on concrete. I mean, Kyle Maverick smacked his head on the ground, and I mean, he was just bleeding all over the place. He got a concussion. Yeah. But luckily, it looks like he's okay right now, and eventually he'll be fine. Yeah,
I think I'd like to also remind everyone that, these men and women are professional wrestlers. They want us to cheer for them. They want us to jeer at them, but they don't want us to get involved physically.
No,
so
not at all.
Be respectful of what they do so they can continue to entertain us.
Absolutely. They're here to entertain. Just be entertained by them.
Yeah, exactly. So it sounds like a great weekend for Rockstar over the weekend of the 24th and 25th. Unfortunately, I had other obligations, couldn't make it, but I damn well will see you next year at Boo and Brews.
Hey, I'm keeping your word on that.
Okay, good.
I'm writing it down in next year's calendar right now.
Do it. So I've got a bit of a riddle for you.
Okay, what's that?
What do Black Jaws and Rodney Dangerfield have in common?
They're both hilarious. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
They're both large men.
Yeah. Keep going.
They're both good swimmers? I don't know.
Well, they both went back to school.
Oh, they did, yes.
Yeah, so we want to congratulate Black Jaws and wish him all the best.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he had an incredible run here at Rockstar Pro, and, obviously he's welcome back anytime, but to cap it off, defeating Tommy Dreamer back at Saved by the Bell, I mean, what more can you ask for if you're Black Jaws?
Yeah, Black Jaws, you will be missed. And like Mark said, we're looking forward to your hopefully inevitable return. Good luck in your other endeavors. Notice I didn't say future.
Thank you very much for doing that.
Also, I wanted to just make a quick mention that there's all sorts of brand new shirts available from our Rockstar wrestlers.
Yeah, there are. Ganger has a new shirt. And he's looking really cut in that shirt as well. I even talked to him about that. It looks really cool. He looks like a superhero on it.
He does. And I love the giant bushy beard,
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
It's a good look for him.
Nate Wings has a brand new shirt, Time to Fly. I don't know if you noticed the time on the clock on the shirt. Did you see that?
I did.
It's always Time to Fly.
It's always Time to Fly. Hashtag, I believe, Time to Fly.
I can't forget the hashtag.
You can't.
I'm surprised you knew that. You're not even on social media.
I'm not, but it's the parlance of our times.
That it is. And then on top of that, Rockstar has a new baseball jersey out for sale, and that's really cool. They both come in the purple and the green. I saw a lot of Rockstar fans and wrestlers sporting that over at Epicon. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's a good look. And finally, at least to my knowledge, Dave Crist is debuting some new OI4K shirts. Well, I guess not just Dave, but OI4K in general, right?
Oh, yeah. Dave and Jake, they always have all the new merch. They always know how to push that stuff, and every time they have a new shirt, it's always a good one.
It is. It's a beautiful design on the front with the OI4K logo there in the middle. With it almost looks like tattoo artwork around it, and some nice scripture on the back. So pick those up if you can next time you're around. I know all the wrestlers really appreciate it when you wear their colors, right, and let your Rockstar flag fly.
It's just like supporting a football team, baseball team. Support Rockstar Pro.
I know you're a Bengals man, Mark.
Yes, I am.
I'm a Browns man.
Okay.
But wrestling can bring us together.
Absolutely.
Right?
Bring it in here. Let's hug it out right now.
You can't even see it, but we actually did it.
We actually did. Maybe the audio picked up some of that padding.
So, in other news, I saw a billboard. The Rockstar billboards actually exists.
Wait, so it's real?
It is real.
Wow, okay,
it's not just internet rumors.
I started thinking they're just Photoshop pictures on the internet.
No.
Okay, good.
They are totally legit. I was driving down Smithville right by, I believe it's Mathis Pies.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if we can get them to sponsor, but they're delicious pies.
You already threw the name out there. Maybe they'll give you a free one.
Maybe. The Key Lime. That's where it's at. Right there on that corner of Linden and Smithville, I was sitting at a stop sign and looked up, and I saw an advertisement actually for the Koran. And then it was a digital billboard, and it switched over, and there was the Rockstar advertisement. Really cool to see that in, the big lights like that.
Yeah, very cool. I'm surprised Dave Crist didn't jump off the billboard at you or anything. I mean, that's incredible.
There are very few things left for him to jump off of.
That might be one.
The billboard, that might be one. Maybe we could have, the first person to get thrown into the Great Miami River loses the match or something like that.
Hey, I like that. Maybe we should have a 3D billboard and people just think Dave's visually jumping at them, but one day Dave actually jumps on them.
Yeah, there you go. I like it. So, all sorts of possibilities. So, if the Rockstar marketing team is listening, Mark and I have all sorts of great ideas for you.
Absolutely. I put the mark in marketing.
You surely do. Now, let's plug the most important thing that we need to plug. Some might say the raison d'etre of this very podcast.
I don't know what you just said, but I agree with it.
November Coming Fire.
That's right.
Ouch!
Ouch indeed. The next iPPV on November the 7th. It's going to be a good one.
It is. I know that so far we have a few things lined up. I'm sure there's more to come over the next few days. One match I'm particularly excited about. It doesn't involve a championship.
Right.
But there's a lot of pride at stake. And, there's a bit of a blood feud as well.
Yeah.
We have Dustin Reyes versus Aaron Williams in a dog collar match.
Yeah, if you ask me, that's all you need to know to show up at this iPPV right there. I mean,
as I understand it, this is the fourth meeting between these two?
Yes, the fourth meeting, and every single time they've stepped in, it's been incredible. They've had regular matches, they've had submission match, they've had last man standing match, and now it's a dog collar match. I mean, we saw what happened at that last man standing match where Dustin Reyes tied up the legs of Aaron Williams with that steel chain, and now Aaron Williams, he's been a whole different person ever since that. He's been walking around with that chain to remind him what Dustin Reyes did to him. And I think come the dog collar match at Coming Fire, Aaron Williams, he's going to utilize that chain to his advantage.
Yeah, I feel like that chain has really become emblematic of this feud.
Without a doubt.
It's hard and it's unforgiving.
Yes.
These two will pull no punches, I'm sure. Hopefully this can resolve the differences between them. I don't know. Maybe the fifth match could be Yappa Pie.
Who knows? I mean, to be honest, I can see these guys wrestle every single week.
These
guys
true.
are incredible.
That's true. I'm not saying I don't want to see this feud end because I don't enjoy the wrestling. I certainly do.
Yeah,
but,
it's just getting dangerous.
It is. I don't, this chain... this is industrial strength, right? This is not something that's made of plastic. This is not something that, is going to, just leave a tiny little mark. This is serious business, and they could seriously hurt each other.
Yeah, and they're going to be tied together. I mean, there's nowhere to run in this at all.
Doesn't matter if the lights go out.
No, not at all. There's nowhere to go.
That's right. So I think that's worth your $10 alone right there.
That alone is worth $10 right there, but there's much more than that.
Absolutely.
I mean, DJ Hyde's going to defend his Rockstar Pro Championship. We don't know against who yet, but that could be a monumental moment. We could see a title change. Alex Cologne, he's going to defend the American Luchacore Championship. Anytime Alex Cologne's in a match, it's always a good one. So, I mean, it's going to be a great show.
Yeah, it's true. I'm curious to see who steps up to take on Alex for that Luchacore Championship. Those matches always bring out the unexpected, I think.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, so if you're Coming Fire, go to a doctor immediately. But Rockstar's November Coming Fire will be a great match where hopefully there will be no painful discharge.
Well said.
Thanks. So maybe we can throw it to the spotlight now?
Let's do it. I need a break.
Let's do it.
It's time for the Rockstar Wrestler Spotlight.
And we're back with your Rockstar Spotlight. And in this episode, we're going to be shining the spotlight on your American Luchacore champion. I can't believe we got him alone.
Yeah.
It's Alex Cologne.
Alone?
Yeah.
My manager's here somewhere. JT? Hold on, don't start without me.
Oh, okay. Well.
Hey, gentlemen, how you doing?
He's just a physical specimen. It's like God just walked in the room.
Oh, come on, man. You're going to make me blush.
You do have a presence. I'll give you that. A commanding one.
My presence is my presence. Let's be honest.
Okay, fair enough. So I guess our guests are...
Guests, plural.
Yeah, Alex Cologne and his manager. Manager of more than just Alex Cologne at this point.
Double trouble. Oh, triple threat now.
JT Davidson.
Well, can I touch on this for a second?
Please do.
Folks, one thing that I want the Rockstar Nation to understand is that, it's not so much a manager and, managees type of situation. These are relationships that are being forged because of the mutual benefit that everybody will get. The fans are going to benefit. The wrestlers are going to benefit. Mostly because my guys, if they wrestle my guys, they're going to make money. And the fact of the matter is, I am only interested in associating myself with top-tier talent, such as the American Luchacore champion, the best of the best, the maniac with the red towel, and the Puerto Rican Punisher, my client Alex Cologne.
I really can't argue that point. I mean, ever since the two of you have gotten together, it's been nothing but success for Alex.
It absolutely has been success. Alex?
It's been success before that, but yes.
Oh,
he picked up the towel when other people in company dropped it. I mean,
not to name names.
We're not naming names. We're just saying this. Alex Cologne wrestled Nate Wings in some amazing matches, but nobody paid attention. Alex Cologne wrestled for the Rockstar World Heavyweight title, but nobody paid attention. People only started paying attention when I decided to let my friend, my benefactor, JT Davidson, step into the picture. And look what he's done. He's gotten me some real competition, and we've been flowing right through him. Next thing you know, I beat Nate Wings, and I'm on the road to great things right now.
Well, you talked about some of the great things you've done, and I've heard, not just from you, but from JT Davidson a little bit, that, Alex, do you think that when you won the Rockstar Pro Championship that the higher powers that be at Rockstar Pro kind of hung you out to dry by making you immediately defend it in a triple threat 2 days later?
Well, if you paid attention, I pretty much had Rhino in a compromising position with the camel clutch, which barely anyone ever escapes. Mm-hmm. And since there had to be a third person in there, why? Don't know. I beat someone who was the champion for how long? He was what? The longest reigning Rockstar champion?
So.
And I mean,
yes, he was.
He's a long-term champion more so than other people in other companies. But I beat him fair and square, and yet they added him to the match because it's gonna add something, some little spice. But I should be spice enough. I mean, that match would have been just fine with me and Rhino, but other people felt that wasn't the case. Next thing you know, it cost me a lot.
The fact is, Rockstar Nation, that you have in Alex Cologne one of the premier wrestling, and that's the operative word, wrestling talents in this nation. He's been from coast to coast. He's wrestled for organizations that most people would dream of wrestling for, but for some reason, Rockstar Pro puts it upon themselves to keep this man down. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to level the playing field. I'm here to make sure that everyone that I represent is given the opportunity that it's not that they deserve it, it's they've earned it.
That's true. Well, that's how it works in Rockstar, I think, or at least that's how it should work, right? You get quality matches from wrestlers who work their way up, right? It's a meritocracy.
Well, I agree with that point. However, the fact is that the best matches were from the best of the best, Alex Cologne. But again, going back to the Rhino match, it was 3 days.
It was.
3 days after he won the title.
Yeah.
Who else can you think of, any previous heavyweight champion who had to defend their title after 3 days? It's politics, folks. And that's exactly what I'm trying to get across here. Now, can I move 1 second here onto the newest member of, Team JT, let's call it. Is that okay, champ?
That's fine.
Okay, hey, thanks, man. I want to make sure that this is out here. Kyle Craven has just signed with JT Incorporated.
Breaking news here on the Backstage Pass.
Well, the fact of the matter is, this is good for business. Okay? Kyle Craven is the largest man in Rockstar Pro. He is the most physically imposing man in Rockstar Pro. But look at his track record up to now. He's been put in situations that, quite frankly, made him look embarrassing. Made him look embarrassed. It embarrassed the guy.
Well, I'm not entirely sure, but I think you may be referring to a few weeks ago when Craven took on Nate Wings in a one-on-one match. I thought that was a hell of a match. Both men, I thought, put on a good show.
I think the fact of the matter that this gentleman is in matches that are not furthering his career is an embarrassment.
Okay.
He is the largest man. He should be in the heavyweight title picture. He should at least be in some sort of title picture.
What about the Luchacore title picture?
The fact of the matter is that's already taken. So no, I don't think he should be in the Luchacore title picture. And like I said, I don't believe that would be good for business.
So, I'm sorry,
So
Mark,
even though Kyle Craven's only been wrestling here at Rockstar Pro for less than a year, you think he's been held back here by Rockstar Pro just like Alex Cologne was?
This is the MO of Rockstar Pro Wrestling. Take people who don't have the political weight and hold them down. It's just that simple. Look, I've seen rookie quarterbacks who've gone to the Super Bowl. And the fact is that Kyle Craven has that type of talent, just like my original client here, Alex Cologne, the best of the best, has the talent. This is a Super Bowl caliber athlete, and Rockstar Pro refuses to see that because they keep their sights on the established superstars or the people, let's be honest, that have been here since the beginning and have the clout.
Okay. Well, I'm certainly not going to take away anything from Alex's ability. Mark and I have seen you since you showed up in Rockstar. You're a great wrestler. Top tier, no questions asked. But it sounds to me, JT, like you're focusing more on the politics than the wrestling. It sounds like you might have some beef with the owners of Rockstar.
There's absolutely no beef. And I want to make sure that that's established.
Okay.
But I'm a realist.
Okay.
The reality is that this type of politicking happens in our business.
Okay.
And like I said, my mission is to level the playing field, pure and simple.
Well, that's why we call it the Backstage Pass, right? Is you get the reality.
What a lot of people don't understand is, like, when I first came up to JT, it was me and him talking about where I was trying to go, because he's seen a road ahead of me, but he understood that there was curtains, there was walls blocking everything ahead of me. You know what I mean? And a lot of people want to see JT as someone who's just looking to gain power, someone who would, let's say, take over a company, or someone who would take over a higher position, and that's not even the case. He's not a lawyer, he's not a owner, he's none of those things. To me, JT is a master negotiator. He negotiates for me, he's going to negotiate for Kyle, he's going to make sure our careers in this company further past the first or second match on the show.
Ooh. Well, now, Alex, I got another question for you. You recently won the American Luchacore Championship, but did it feel extra special to defeat a person like Nate Wings, your greatest rival, a man that you had that excellent best-of-7 series with? Did it feel extra special to take the title from him?
Not at all. Me and Nate, up to a certain point, I felt we were really good friends, so it wasn't more about an issue. It was more just about competition. But he made it clear once. He felt, like I can say again, someone felt the need to put themselves in a position that I was already in, that I already filled. It was going to be me and Matt Taylor, and Nate felt the need to put himself into that match. And Gigi and everybody else behind the scenes felt the need to give Nate an opportunity that I was already taking. So it went from being competition, friendly competition, to being an issue.
Do you ever think that you could reconcile with Nate?
I don't think about that. Nate, to me, is the past. I've already proved I can beat him.
Yeah.
Because all the fans wanted to do was say, oh, Alex isn't going to beat Nate. Nate's beat Alex a bunch of times. Nate's never beat me clean up until that point. He may have gotten a lucky hit here and there, but generally, when it came down the stretch, he's never beat me clean. And I proved that I could beat him clean. 1, 2, 3. So he's my past, and I'm looking towards my future.
And I mean, you're already the champ. So, you know, where do you want to go from there? What is your future?
I'm just hoping that Rockstar takes this man JT's advice, the master negotiator that he is, and they give me opportunities they've given other people, like Ron Mathis, who hasn't done anything. I mean, come on, Ron Mathis might bust his butt a bunch, but company-wise, where's he going right now? Anybody? And who did he just wrestle? He wrestled Sabu, right?
He did.
Ron Mathis seems to be the go-to. Guys like Ron Mathis, Nate Wings, Aaron Williams, you name them. They're the company favorites.
Yeah,
but I'm not the company favorite. I came in mid-stride. The fans didn't know who I was, and at that point, I was a ton of places.
You came in with the Wired Championship, did you not?
Yeah. No, not at that point.
Oh, okay.
But if you paid attention, I had been a bunch of places that caught notoriety. But since the Dayton bubble didn't understand who I was, they already assumed that people were going to eat me up. And once I showed that it was more than that, people started getting behind me. But once I came across their company guy, people wanted to put the bets against me. And that's where my negotiator, JT Davidson, comes into play.
You know, I think it's important to put a few things into perspective.
Okay.
I've heard from a lot of fans, and I've heard from, honestly, people within Rockstar that, well, you know, we really liked Alex better before you came into the picture. We really just don't like Alex since you've been around him. You know, and I one fan in particular, he was at ringside, and he said to me, you know, I felt that, you know, Alex was honorable before you came into the picture. Folks, I need something cleared up right now. Nice guys finish last. There are no rules in Love and War.
But there are rules in wrestling.
Well, the fact is, we have not been called on any wrongdoing.
Rules are meant to be broken.
You know, look at this. Look at the rule book right now. You know, there is nothing, or I should say, in the win column. Look at the win column. You know, there's nothing that says anything about rules being broken in any of our matches. Because in reality, the ref has not seen any wrongdoing. It's that simple. Is that am I not correct? Yes?
You look in the Rockstar history books, people like groups like OI4K, the most popular thing in this company, honestly. Even I understand that. And they broke the rules when they first came in to get into the company. And all people can do is chant OI4K. They broke the rules.
They did.
And they're the most popular thing. If they didn't break the rules, where would they be?
I'm finding these points hard to argue, Mark.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I mean, OI4K might not even be here without breaking the rules to get into the company.
It's true, but I think JT makes a good point too. You know, when we look at the outcome of each of Alex's matches, you know, he gets the W.
There's no instant replay in wrestling. It's not like the NFL. So if a ref doesn't see something, he can't call it.
It never happened, I suppose.
Well, earlier, Kris asked Alex what his future was as champion, but JT Davidson, what do you think the future of your group as a whole is?
You know, the funny thing about the future is it's being written right now. You know, I'm not going to sit here and try to guess, you know, what we're going to do in the future. Do I have a plan? Absolutely. But most plans should be kept confidential. Folks, you know, speaking to the Rockstar Nation right now, you know, whoever's listening, trust me when I tell you that my goal is very simple. I'm looking to represent top talent, which is what I said before. I already am. I'm already representing top talent in Rockstar Pro. I can tell you that, you know, our established veteran, Alex Cologne, is going to continue to be the leader within whatever group that I decide to represent. Kyle Craven, like you said, is a year in. But I'm here to tell you that when we unleash the monster that truly is within Kyle Craven, there will be no stopping him, and he will be the backbone of our organization. And I do have my sights set on several other top prospects, but that is to be determined, and I will not show my cards.
Oh, you can't give us a little bit of information there?
Not yet, sorry.
Oh. Well, you know, I've got to say, when it comes to pure talent and pure power, you have two of the best in the business.
I know.
Coming up this Friday, it's November Coming Fire. And we know...
Hold on.
Who has an STD?
Coming Fire?
Hey, I didn't name it.
That had to have been a C.W. Scott name. Right, seriously.
Maybe it was. November Coming Fire. In fact, if you, Rockstar Nation, if you can tell us the musical reference there, I don't know.
I don't know. I would have named it after November Rain, Guns N' Roses. But hey.
Well, last year we had November Pain, I believe. Did we not?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I think we did. But
let's be honest. If you want to put butts in the seats, you got to call it the Alex Cologne and JT Davidson show. I'm just saying.
Well, possibly. I don't think people necessarily just want to see one name as the title of the entire pay-per-view event.
And that's your opinion, and you're backstage.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough. At November Coming Fire. I'll say it again. I'll leave room for chuckles. All right. Alex is going to be defending the American Luchacore Championship against an unknown opponent at this point. I've got to ask, Alex, JT, is there anyone in particular that you'd, like to go up against? Is there anyone you'd rather not?
While Alex was out celebrating his victory from Horrorcore, I made an announcement to the Rockstar Nation, which was very simple. We will take on anyone. Mm-hmm. I have, and I say that with all respect to the champ. He will take them on. I will just be in his corner.
Sure.
But the fact remains that I'm not worried for my client. I am not worried for Alex, and I'm looking at his face right now. He doesn't look worried, folks. So whoever it is, we already know that several of the matches that have been announced. So, most likely it's not going to be those guys. But at the end of the day, I don't care because I am that confident in my client's ability to get in the ring, to mix it up, to tie up with anybody that comes in there and make them feel bad about themselves. It's just that simple.
Now, we know you're a master negotiator, but you don't do the booking, right? We know that there are other powers within the company that book these matches. So, I just got to throw it out there. What if they put Kyle Craven up against Alex Cologne? You think he's going to lay down?
Let's be honest. That's not going to be their choice. Let's be completely honest. Gigi's or whoever else wants to be, because obviously he has to go over C.W. Scott. So, obviously, Gigi's going to be making these phone calls. Gigi's making the phone calls he needs to make to try to get that title off my waist. Because I've been reigning all over the Luchacore division for the past, 2 months is it at this point? Mm-hmm. So, why is he going to pick someone that I've either A, already beaten, B, more than likely am better than, or C, just has no chance in hell of even beating me? So he's making them phone calls and finding himself a hitman. And be my guest, I've seen everything from here to New Jersey to England and Germany. So you can fly in, drive in, anybody you want. You can pick anybody in the back. You can pick Mark Turner. You can pick JP. It doesn't matter. I'm going to win.
And let's think about that for 1 second. He just made a great point. He's been everywhere. Mm-hmm. He's been across the Atlantic. He's been coast to coast. Mm-hmm. There's a reason that this man has the moniker the best of the best. And folks, believe it. It's gospel at this point. I'm here to tell you that this man is the best of the best. As we've been traveling together, I've seen what this man can do, and I know what he's capable of. And very, very soon, you will too.
Man, woman, or child, midget, JT will be praying for your life. Let's be honest.
Well, I got to agree. Alex has carried that moniker, best of the best, for a while, and rightfully so. But he's also known as the maniac with the red towel. How do you keep a maniac under control? With all due respect to you, Alex.
Look, at this point, it's not about controlling Alex. And I want you to understand that my group, the team that I am trying to assemble here at Rockstar Pro, I don't control anything. I direct. When you have a flood, you don't stop it. You divert it.
Okay.
I'm looking at Alex and everyone else that I have my sights on right now, Kyle Craven and mystery guest to be named later.
Thought we got him. Almost.
but I am only the maestro of the symphony. I'm not playing the music.
Okay. Directing, not controlling. I think that's a fair point, at the very least. So there you have it. We have JT Davidson representing Alex Cologne, who will be defending the American Luchacore Championship this Friday at... Mark, can you say it this time?
Yeah, I guess. November Coming Fire.
Indeed. So, gentlemen, thank you for being on the Backstage Pass. I won't say it. I just want to. I'll wish you luck.
Next time you talk to me, we'll be talking about how I beat whoever it is they stepped up in front of me, and how I'm still the greatest American Luchacore champion in history.
Yep, absolutely, guys. It was totally your pleasure.
What's up, wrestling fans? It's Dave Crist at the Ohio is for Killers. Come check me out at November Coming Fire this coming Friday, Rockstar Pro Arena. And let's not forget, Backstage Pass is the official podcast of Rockstar Pro Wrestling.
Hello, and unfortunately for me, welcome to another Michael's Moment. Well, I've got quite a bit of some things on my head, so to say, to talk about. And one of those things I like to talk about is the lack of respect that this Rockstar crowd gives me. Even though me, simply the man known as Michael, has done nothing but try to gain respect from the crowd. Simply by spilling my blood in that ring, doing incredible stunts that people text and call me the next day and wondering if I'm okay, wondering if I'm in a hospital, if I'm able to walk. Well, simply put, nothing's going to put the man known as Michael down to stay. The man known as Michael is simply going to keep getting up over and over again. And I diverse for a second. Let me talk about a simple individual known as Ganger. Let's put it this way. I'm using Ganger as a stepping stone to prove, once again, my legacy here at Rockstar Pro Wrestling, with my hardcore style, my ability to make some of the greats in that ring bleed. I mean, simply put it, let's put it this way. Ganger, think about it. I've made Mathis bleed. I've made Lufisto bleed. I've done some of the best hardcore matches here in Rockstar history. I am the living legend of hardcoreness here at Rockstar Pro Wrestling. And the quicker you get that through your mind, the quicker you can accept your fate. And that goes out to the Rockstar Nation also. You simple, moronic fans need to learn one thing, and that my legacy is here and simply here to grow. And let's put it this way, Ganger, if you think you can put away a man like Michael, you've simply made a mistake and simply already chosen your defeat. So as long as you're okay with laying in that bed, cuddle up and call it a night. And that has been a simple message from the man known as Michael. So I hope all of you go home, tuck yourselves in the bed, and don't wake up.
All right, so there's another Michael's moment for you.
Another one.
You know, I don't think that there's like a shred of compassion or I'll say it, decency left in Michael. He hates Ganger. He hates the Rockstar Nation.
I think he hates everything.
I think he. You know what? I think he hates himself.
He may, but I've been meaning to ask you, how much is he paying you to get that segment on the show each week?
You know, it seems nothing.
Okay.
It seems like it's just kind of become a tradition almost. You know, it's the legacy of Griffin Gunn. because it used to be that Griffin would slip those in when I wasn't looking. And you know what?
He still has his fingerprints on the show, I guess.
He does.
Yeah,
I think, I honestly think that maybe I've been a little brainwashed because I just come to expect it now. It's like, here's another Backstage Pass and here's another Michael's moment.
By the way, I saw Griffin gun at the Epicon, and he was a jerk as usual. Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
Well, at least some things never change.
I went out of my way to try to talk to him, but...
he wasn't having it?
No, I won't be doing that again.
Okay. Well, maybe, I don't know, like we said, maybe on our 2-year anniversary, maybe the 50th episode spectacular.
Hey, that'd be great.
We can draw him back in because, although he may not get along with either of us, let's face it, he has a fan base.
Yeah, that he does.
So we've got some upcoming events here at Rockstar. Let's start with some concerts.
Yeah, let's do it.
First, I don't even have a date. I believe... it's November 8th. I believe it's the night after November Coming Fire.
You better be right about that.
I think that's right. It's going to be Weed Eater with Full of Hell, Laser Wolf, who've actually played here at Rockstar Pro Arena before. I think it was with Orange Goblin. I thought they were a highlight of that show. Laser Wolf's great. Along with Bearer of Bad News, Zool, and Flesh Warfare. That's going to be an all-ages show. Doors open at 6:30. $13 if you buy your tickets before, $15 if you buy them at the door, and if you are over 21 with an ID, you can have beer at that show.
Hey, that's always great.
Yeah.
And then November 22nd, here's a band I know really well, Danger Kids. Support Danger Kids, support my friend Andy Bain in that group.
Yeah.
And they'll be on the show, as will Bearer of Bad News, Witness.
Witness, I believe, is a reunion show.
Yes, it is. Switchblade Jake,
Yeah.
back in the arena again. Of course, A Liar's Eyes. Mm-hmm. What does that say? Ocean Grid?
I think it's Ocean Grid.
I can't read your handwriting.
I'm sorry.
I wish we could type these up.
Yeah, my bad.
What is that?
Crossley Court?
Crossley Court. Okay. All ages show. $13 in advance. $15 night of the show at the door.
Yeah. Coming up the following weekend, November 29th, it will be Wretched with War of Ages, Ascension, Machine Gun Majesty, and Eternal Void. Just like the previous ones, that's an all-ages show, $13 before, $15 at the door.
Wait, I heard you say Ascension. Is that the NXT tag team? Are they going to be here?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, shit, I forgot the main act. It's going to be Battlecross. Some of these bands use such metal fonts that I can't even read them. But that's more Wretched than it is Battlecross. Battlecross has sweet artwork of some sort of mech destroying something or other.
Yeah, I was just going to say that big robot in the middle makes a lot more sense with Battlecross now.
It does.
Than did with the other names. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, got to thank Isaac for that one. Honestly, this makes me want to play Titanfall.
Well, December 6th, we also have Correction House.
So Correction House. I was asked to give a little bit of explanation here. Correction House is kind of like, your traveling Wilburys of heavy music, right? It's an all-star band with Scott Kelly of Neurosis, Mike the singer from I Hate God, members of Hansel and Gretel, and one of my favorite bands, Pig Destroyer.
Okay, very cool.
So that's going to be a really cool show. That's December 6th. Be sure to check back at rockstarprowrestling.com for more upcoming concerts.
And if we didn't mention it before, Rockstar Pro Wrestling each and every Wednesday. Everybody listening knows that.
Yeah.
But you got to be here.
Be here for
each and every Wednesday, 7 o'clock doors, 7:30 bell time. Tickets only $6 each and every week.
Best $6 you'll ever spend.
Without a doubt. And then November the 7th, we have November
Coming Fire.
Ooh, well said.
Ooh, it burns.
It burns. November 7th. It's going to be great, though. You're going to want to feel this burn.
I feel like, again, Rockstar Marketing kind of missed an opportunity here. They could have had, each Rockstar member doing some sort of money shot with a flamethrower. Or, something along those lines.
I don't know how to top what you just said.
I don't either. Maybe we should just wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you at November Coming Fire!
That's all for this episode. Be sure to come back for another edition of Backstage Pass, Rockstar Pro Wrestling's official podcast.